I can never get enough of it. All right. Welcome to today's lecture or seminar, which is hopefully able to open your minds and your heart to try something alternative. All right, something alternative. Well, let's get started. Today we are going to specifically talk about this wonderful little thing, which is a medical device. Can you imagine? Just a small little thing, portable, AAA batteries, and you can also use the power bank and the socket and to power it up. So it's really convenient. And what is so special about it? Well, it is electro acupuncture. It is electro acupuncture. So let's talk about acupuncture first. Acupuncture, as we know it, has been around for many, many years. Exactly how many years? Well, this is where I pull out, right, evidence because my background, before I got the PhD, I'm actually a lawyer and attorney, graduated from Monash in Melbourne, Australia, had a double degree and spent a good, few years of my life as a lawyer and worked my way up to be a partner of a law firm and decided that it wasn't for me. I had a different purpose in life. It wasn't for me. So I switched and I changed. Okay, so here, this National Institutes of Health, which is a US government website, says that acupuncture is approximately 3,000 years old. Wow. And it was documented in the Yellow Emperor's Classic of Internal Medicine. There we go. The Yellow Emperor's Classic. And you can avail this from Amazon. This is the English version. So acupuncture is 3,000 years old. It actually is derived from traditional Chinese medicine, which is like 5,000 years old. All right. And acupuncture is basically talking about different energy pathways within our body because, well, it took science some time to figure it out, but they believe 3,000 years ago that we are made of energy. Yes, we are made of energy, right? So we have this aura. Some people say, I feel your vibes, man. I feel your vibes, vibration. So everything is spinning, right? So we are made of energy and you can feel vibration. You feel the aura. You feel, good vibes, bad vibes, that kind of thing. Made of energy. If something is wrong with us, that means something is not right about our energy. So you go fix the energy, isn't it? And interestingly, I mean, if we are made of energy, then we need something to power it up, right? And interestingly, our cells, right? Same sound, same spelling as your cell phone, right? The cells, the power, the battery. So if something is wrong with your battery, right, in your body, just like the cell phone, it's not going to work. So what could be wrong with your battery that affects the energy? It's your meridian pathways. Now, these meridian pathways, we have to change our basic thinking about the Western looking at the human anatomy. It's divided into systems, So you have your digestive system, this system, that system, right? Okay, fine. And there are various organs that goes with particular system. Well, as for traditional Chinese medicine, they look at the energy pathways, and these energy pathways, they are connected to organs, specific organs, all right? Like your liver, your heart, your spleen, your gallbladder, and so on. And if these pathways are blocked, then you have to unblock them. If you don't unblock them, it will become a problem, all right? So how do you know that the pathways are blocked? But I'm sure a lot of you have gone through reflexology, right? We love massage, reflexology. So you go to the airport, you go to a shopping mall, and you may have you know, places where you can have your feet put up and people massage your feet, right? That's reflexology. And, you know, they apply the same amount of strength. And initially you feel, wow, it's like very strong sensation, right? To some degree, maybe even painful, isn't it? And uncomfortable. But, you know, the reflexologists, if we call them, they will continue, right? And after a while, the pain kind of dissipate or disappears, right? Why? Because the blockage, right, has been reduced and later on probably, you know, unblocked. So when that happens, you don't feel any more sensation. Am I right, guys? Everyone who has done reflexology would have that, okay? So the same thing for this device. This device, you have this probe, right? It's roundish, connected to this device, connected to your hand. And then you start mapping it. This is the chart that we use, okay? And this is an acupuncture chart you can download from the internet, right? And it will tell you, okay, this point is for maybe the heart, the gallbladder, the spleen, the liver, the lungs, blah, blah, blah. And it goes on. So what you do is when you receive it in the box, you go map it out. You don't poke it hard. No, there's no need for that. There's no needle. All right. It's non-invasive. You just have to touch the skin, and there will be can happen. One is you don't feel anything. Fine. If you don't feel anything, fine. Another sensation is you may feel vibration. Right. Okay, no pain, but just vibration. That's okay. And then the third one is you'll feel in the Philippines, aray, you know, like it's like, woo, a sharp sensation. And let me explain what actually happened. Scientifically, this device in the engineering, right, part of it is it's going to run current. And this current, when it touches and enters your body, is converted into electromagnetic wave. And then it runs through the meridian because you're pointing to a specific point, the heart meridian, for example, or the gallbladder or the liver. And then there's no blockage. Perfect, right? Then when you touch it, you don't feel anything. Thumbs up, okay? But if you touch that same point, and some of you may have vibration. Why? Because when the electromagnetic wave goes through that meridian, there is a little blockage. It gets bounced back, okay? When it gets bounced back, you feel vibration. But if that meridian has a severe blockage, haha, wow, then when the current goes through, the electromagnetic wave goes through, a lot will get bounced back. And you'll be like, you know. So this thing is designed to tell the truth about condition. This thing doesn't lie. It's not designed to lie. You know what I mean? So if there is a certain condition, depending on the degree of blockage in your meridian, it will tell you. So it can even tell you at a very early stage. And there's always a saying, prevention is better than cure, right? But if it is a chronic problem, of course, the moment you touch it, you don't even have to poke it hard. The moment you touch it, you'll be like, yeah. And this device, you start from level 1 to level 15. Level 1 to level 15, all right? So level 1 is the lowest in terms of intensity of the electricity, the current, and level 15 is the highest. So you start low, all right? And then you slowly up. So after a few treatment, after a few sessions, you'll be able to slowly level up, right? In just like those gamers, right? Level up. And when you're able to level up, then you know that you are in the right direction towards your healing. So far, okay? So far? So this is how it works. And let me just go on. and tell you how it was actually, how this electroacupuncture was invented. Well, when they have electricity, I guess they experimented with it. And in the traditional sense, you have needles poke all over your head and body, and then you have wires at the ends of these needles, and it's all linked to a particular kind of like electricity generator, right, that supplies current, and it is proven to work more efficiently in terms of being able to unblock the blockages in the meridians. And this has been around 1930s, 40s. Different countries have been using them, from Japan, Germany, and so on, China. All right. Now, in anything that we want to discuss about, it's always good to rely on scientific evidence, right? And as a lawyer, you know, the last thing we want is to base on hearsay. We have to base on sound scientific evidence. So I'm going to present to you a few medical journals and what they have to say about acupuncture and electro acupuncture. And hopefully you get convinced, okay? So let's get on with the first one, which is stem cell. Of course, stem cells journals talks about stem cells, is the authority for stem cells. And here it says, electroacupuncture promotes central nervous system dependent release of mesenchymal stem cells. Wow, big words. Let's dissect it, all right? Lawyers love to play with words, and let's just make it simple. Essentially, it's saying electroacupuncture promotes release of mesenchymal stem cells in your body. That's huge, because we have stem cells. When we were younger, stem cells are like in abundance, right? But as we get older, kind of like went into hibernation. That's why when you have a cut, your wound takes a longer time to heal as you get older. So stem cells, they are undifferentiated, meaning they have no specific function. But when they become stimulated or enhanced or in any way, you know, they get excited and they will become differentiated, meaning they will go to the heart and become the heart cells. They will go to your liver and become the liver cells. You get a picture? So from being undifferentiated, they will become differentiated. Wow. So this means stem cells can replace the damaged cells. Stem cells can replace and repair the damaged cells. Now, isn't that amazing? And you know, our body, certain parts of it, not the bone, not some of the, but most part of it, every few months, your cells just, you know, changes, all right? That particular organ. So you have a chance to, if only your battery pack is working and everything is going on efficiently, you will have a brand new organ here and there. All right. So it's something that I know it's a little bit hard for you to imagine, but if you go research and you see the science behind it, our cells in most parts of our body actually, they kind of like become new every few months. All right. So when you have stem cells that are working for you, and your damaged organs can be healed. All right. So this is a very important point, and that's the first point for arguing that electroacupuncture works and stem cells is the number one. Now, moving on. Nature is, some say, the number one medical journal. Doctors rely on Nature, and this is electroacupuncture activates neurons to switch off inflammation. Switch off inflammation. Inflammation, usually, what happens? When you have something that is inflamed, well, the thing that we can think of is pain, right? Pain management. Okay, when you have a cut, well, it's painful. When you're arthritic, you know, the joints, you have certain pain. Maybe you have sciatica nerves, you know, it's kind of pain, right? Everything is pain, but there are also inflammation in your body that you don't feel the pain, right? Maybe your nerves doesn't, you know, kind of like detect that pain, but it's inflamed. So the thing about this inflammation, if you don't treat it, it becomes chronic, prolonged, it will become a disease. Diseases are caused by chronic inflammation. So when you have, according to nature, this medical study, electro acupuncture activates neurons to switch off inflammation. Wow. When you switch off inflammation, that is you're on the right track to recovery. Okay? It's not degenerating, it's not getting worse. It's stopped, all right? The inflammation, and here you go. The stem cells will come and fix it up, and your immune system will, we'll touch on that later on. So it will, according to this, switch off your inflammation. This is huge. All right. Now, moving on. PubMed, National Institutes of Health. Acupuncture enhances generation of nitric oxide. Wow. We all know about nitric oxide, NO, right? This nitric oxide can enhance your circulatory system. When your circulatory system is improved, then your cells will get the nutrients that it needs, right? So this nitric oxide is simply amazing. A lot of people, they get it from food supplements, and there are many food supplements companies that are doing very well, okay, with nitric oxide. But here it's saying acupuncture can also help promote and release the nitric oxide in your body. Now, isn't that amazing? Okay, now moving on. Acupuncture and its ability to restore and maintain immune homeostasis. What is the function of our immune system? In case we have virus, bacteria, parasites, and whatever that comes in to our body, the immune system will shoot them down like Star Wars, right? It'll shoot them down, But there can be problems with our immune system. What if our immune system is overreactive? Then you have autoimmune diseases like lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, that comes to mind, okay? But what if your immune system is performing? Then what happens? You may have cancer, okay? Because it then doesn't work. So here we have this article, and I'm gonna read it out for you, the highlighted part, which is, fortunately, evidence suggests that acupuncture can regulate the immune system to maintain immune homeostasis. Homeostasis, if you've seen the Chinese logo, the black and the white and kind of like Tai Chi kind of, that is called the yin and yang. It's a homeostasis. It's a balance, all right? Now, in cases of immunosuppressive diseases, cancer, acupuncture has an enhancing effect on immunity. I mean, it can enhance, all right? Conversely, in autoimmune diseases, that means it's overreactive, like rheumatoid arthritis, acupuncture has been observed to have an immunosuppressive effect, which helps restore normal immune tolerance. Guys, any of these points alone is sufficient to warrant you to go try this product. You have the stem cells, you have the switching off the inflammation, you have the nitric oxide that improves your your circulatory system, and here you go. It balances your immune system. Wow, these four are very, very powerful. And that's why we have many, many testimonies in our community, right? Even though we have just started, it's amazing. Moving on. So this is a medical device. Yes, it is. You didn't hear it incorrectly. This is a medical device. And these are some of the diseases that it has helped. All right, but not all. There are more. And this is how it looks like in a box. And just like any medical devices or electronic devices, we have to be cautious. And people with pacemaker, don't use it. People who are pregnant, don't use it. Why? Because pregnancy can have a lot of different complications. We don't want them to blame us. Children under 3 years of age, their organs are not fully developed, please do not use. Patient with malignant tumors. This is what the company has to say, because when they registered this product, it was not registered as a cancer curing device. Because if it had been so, I don't think it will be registered. Okay? Patient with hemorrhagic tendencies, patient with tuberculosis, and chronic alcoholic. I guess when you're drunk, don't use it. That's what they're saying. All right, so here, now you can see more clearly, right? You have even your arms, your eyes, your legs, your spleen, your, wow, almost all organs are here. Look at it, right? Everything is just in one hand. And you can use your right hand as well. It's okay. Or you can use different parts of your body, but don't use on the face, okay? We don't want you to injure yourself if you don't know how to use it. And here we have another reason why you should use this device. And this is actually my favorite. A lot of people in our community, this would be their favorite. Guys, this is just a clip, and you just clip it to where? Your ears, all right? And you get really, really happy mood, all right? So with this, the specific function is to stimulate your vagus nerve. So let's talk about vagus nerve, what it's all about. The vagus nerve is actually 80,000 nerves in your body, 80,000 nerves. And these nerves, what do they do? Well, according to WebMD, the vagus nerve is an integral part of your autonomic nervous system. All right? This part of your nervous system controls the things the body does without your conscious input, such as your breathing, digesting food, and sweating. Guys, you cannot tell your heart how to beat. Your heart knows how to beat, right? You cannot consume the food and say, hey, body, digest slowly. No, you just digest. Are you with me? So any part of your body that doesn't require your conscious effort to make it work, that is your vagus nerve. It's a lot of it. It's like all these wires going in different parts of your body. If you look at your heart and your liver and your kidneys and all these so-called major organs as your hardware, in like a computer hardware, then the vagus nerves, the nerves will definitely have to be your software. Okay? So you have your hardware and your software. Let's move on. Now, on the right-hand side, what does the vagus nerve do? The vagus nerve provides signals from your brain to your body, regulating what? Your heart rate, your taste, speech, skin sensations, music, muscle sensations, immune response, respiratory rate, blood pressure, mucus production, saliva production, digestion, frequency of urination, mood. So there's a lot there. Well, big problem of the vagus nerve that we don't know about. Well, the thing is this. When our vagus nerve is damaged, we will have symptoms. But the problem is we don't know how to read these symptoms pointing to the vagus nerve problem. Let me show you. Let me show you. So these are some of the symptoms. Acid reflux. So when a person has acid reflux, the doctor will probably say, okay, do you have any gastric issues? Maybe they'll check your heart if you have heartburn. You know what I mean? They'll probably do an ECG. Some may even recommend you to go and do the CT scan, you know, blah, blah, blah. So check everything. And they cannot check your vagus nerve. Look at the other one, abdominal pain. So they'll probably ask you anything about your stomach area, bloating, lack of a gag reflex, difficulty swallowing, dizziness, fainting, hoarse voice, wheezing, unexplained weight loss, loss of appetite, feeling full after eating very little, nausea, vomiting, chronic mood issues or disorders, and even to the extent of Alzheimer. Guys, our present hospital medical system, they focus on your hardware. So you have your MRI, your CT scan, your ultrasound, all these so-called medical devices, machines, that's supposed to diagnose you, they are focusing on your hardware. They don't have anything to focus on your software. So if you have a few of these symptoms, you go to the hospital to have your checkup. They will check your heart and they say, your heart is normal, perfect. You may have complained of some kind of arrhythmia or irregular heartbeat and so on. They will say it's normal, okay? And then you complain about other issues and they go check your, and then they'll say, nothing wrong with it. And I have a case, and I have to say this, all right? The lady saw the list that I was presenting and then said, oh, my husband has a lot of these issues. And then she contacted me. And then she said, my husband went, by the way, this is in America. And my husband went to see several doctors and he had this rapid, irregular heartbeat and it makes him scared. Okay, it makes him scared. You know that kind of feeling when your heartbeat is not beating correctly and it's very fast, right? Of course, you would be scared. You'll have anxiety, isn't it? And he went to get everything tested. The doctors kind of like tell him, there's nothing wrong with you. Maybe it's your imagination. And even suggested to him to go see a psychologist or I don't know to the extent of psychiatrist, The poor guy had a problem, like they couldn't diagnose, and they tell him that maybe he's making it up. My goodness, right? It's not fair. No offense to any of these medical doctors if you happen to be here, but sometimes you just got to admit it when you don't have the right tools, right, to diagnose. You just have to admit it. And doctors are the brainiest, right? Because you have to be, very smart to enter the medical school. Am I right? In my country, Malaysia, you have to be a straight A student, right? So they are the smartest. Unfortunately, when they enter the system, they get controlled by the system. Why? Well, something happened about 100 odd years ago, right? Came all these big pharma drug companies and sad to say, they don't heal you. What they normally do is just relieve your symptoms and then prolong it and then get you on a prescription or maintenance drug, and then it creates other problems in the future. So the pill, the drug that you take does not heal you. It creates more problems for you. I don't know if you would agree or disagree with me, but that's just my opinion. So you have to, learn yourself how to treat, okay? This thing, it treats you. It clears your blockage. It clears it. It heals you. Okay? Whereas the thing that you take is maybe to relieve certain symptoms, right? That you are going through right now, and you have to keep on taking it. Or from a business perspective, wow, that is big and good business, isn't it? Right? If someone keeps going to your shop to buy from you, wow, that's amazing. So this big pharma, about 100 odd years ago, they decided, okay, we have to control the medical students because they are going to sell our drugs for us, right? So let's change their course to make sure that they are studying all the protocols relevant to what we are selling. Are you with me, guys? I don't know if you disagree, that's fine, okay? And then not only the medical students, they have to look at the hospitals. That's their marketplace, all right? Their platform for selling. Now, today, if you go to major hospitals, you'll see pharmaceutical reps queuing up, waiting to see the specialist doctor. I'm not making this up. And if these doctors, they hit a certain quota, they go on travel trips somewhere to attend a so-called seminar. But some of them have even a 5-star hotel given to them to attend seminar. All right. I've also heard of doctors even getting cars. Guys, I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. You go find it out yourself. All right. And when you have those things, there's a conflict, isn't it? There's a conflict of interest because someone, or you want to sell your drugs so that you can go on a vacation. Are you with me? So it sounds a little bit harsh, but it is what it is. And let me show you something which is a little bit disturbing. Okay, but I like to show facts, and this may disturb you. What is the number one leading cause of death? Heart and stroke. Okay, number one leading cause of death. What is the second leading cause of death? Cancer. All right. What is the third leading cause of death? Aha. Right. If you guess it right, I'll give you something. No, just kidding. All right. What is the third leading cause of death? Let me show you. Let me CNBC. I'm sure everyone knows, right? CNBC. And this is what it has to say. The third leading cause of death in US, most doctors don't want you to know about. A recent Johns Hopkins study claims more than 250,000 people in the US die every year from medical errors. Other reports claim the numbers to be as high as 440,000. Everyone knows Johns Hopkins is famous, right? Medical errors are the third leading cause of death after heart disease and cancer. The brainiest people can make mistakes. Isn't it kind of like disheartening, right? So when you go get a medical opinion, make sure you go for a second one, okay? Before they cut you up, all right, guys? Just saying, I'm just saying. Okay, moving on, guys, moving on. I mean, if I keep on attacking, some people may not like it, so I'm gonna stop. Just enough to open up your mind. And okay, so this TAVNS, right? Actually, it's just big words. Transcutaneous auricular vagus nerve stimulator, TAVNS, is actually what we have here. So this acupuncture device, electro acupuncture device, also comes with this TAVNS option. All right. And you use it every day. And guess what? It says here that it can help your memory recall. Wow. So that's one. And then moving on to the other one that I found. TAVNS improves human working memory performance under sleep deprivation stress. So if your memory can improve, I like to help people. And the first thing that came to my mind was those dementia patients. Those dementia patients, they don't know who is sitting in front of them. They cannot recognize. Why? Because of the memory recall, isn't it? So can we help them? Of course we can. And then other kind of patients, apart from the memory thing, because we are talking about cellular communication, we are talking about the vagus nerve, right? It's like when someone had a stroke and then certain part of the brain is damaged, the limbs, right? The hands and the legs, the muscles, everything is perfect. But they cannot control the hand to move, the arm to move, the leg to walk. Are you with me? It's like you have a radio, you cannot receive FM frequency, it's not, it's not resonating. It's not, So we stimulate through this vagus nerve stimulator to kind of like aligning, like your car alignment, aligning, okay, so that the cells can communicate. And that's what it's doing. And it's really amazing. Okay, I'll share the testimonies later on. So this is something that can help a lot of elderly people with dementia. And something happened 4 years ago, COVID-19. Okay, COVID-19 has been found to damage the vagus nerve, and it contributes to a condition called dysautonomia. So it damages the vagus nerve, causing dysautonomia. And what is dysautonomia? Cleveland Clinic. Dysautonomia is a nervous system disorder that disrupts autonomic body processes. Isn't that the vagus nerve? Isn't that the autonomic nervous system? These are automatic functions like your blood pressure and heart rate. Okay? Now, this study, I think, is from Sweden. right? Again, it says of the SARS, CoV-2, which is a COVID-19, causing problems with the vagus nerve, all right, because of a condition called the cytokine storm, all right? So let's move on. So when you have cytokine storm, well, what does it do? Too much inflammation can damage tissue and lead to diseases and conditions, including autoimmune diseases going down, metabolic disorders going down, cancer going down, sepsis. So essentially, this COVID-19 is causing chaos within our vagus nerve. And this is another article from Science Direct and even Forbes. New insights into long COVID point to damage to the vagus nerve. Okay, fine. So, how many of us have COVID infection? I had once, right? And it's estimated as around half the world's population had COVID-19 infection. Okay, so guys, now this is a little bit sensitive. How many of us had this? You see, I cannot even say the word V, but you guys know what. How many of you had this jab? I had 2 AstraZeneca. I can talk about myself. I cannot talk about you, right? I can talk about myself. And recently I found out that AZ has been sued, and in the court document, right? In the court document, they stated that AZ has side effects. Wow. Of course, I knew it all along, but I had no choice, because if I didn't get this, I couldn't travel, right? I couldn't fly, I couldn't travel, I couldn't go to restaurants to eat and so on, right? So I was like, So I had 2. And I want to ask you, and I know you're all muted, ever since the pandemic, whether you had the virus, COVID-19, or you had this, how many people actually had it? How many people you know who became hypertensive, high blood pressure? And maybe some of the people that you know who even developed a condition like stroke. My cousin died of stroke. My good friend from Vietnam just a month ago had stroke. Many, many people, right, because of the clotting, so they develop many kinds of problems. So some of us had COVID infection, some of us had this thing, right? So I believe a lot of the people in the world have this vagus nerve problem. I don't know. Would you agree with me for making that statement? So the thing is, what are we going to do about it? Me and the entire community, what do? Every day, we spend about an hour, okay? Whether you're driving or you're, I don't know, all right? And then are there results? Oh yeah, of course. So this is just an explanation, but there are a lot of testimonies which really help a lot of people within our community, right? So there's a saying, what? To see is to believe. Well, we have that. So moving on. Now, as if that is not bad enough, nowadays, this is the hottest news right now. Okay? Guys, scary, isn't it? I know, it's scary. If you live in Congo and Africa and some of the countries, I think it will be pretty scary. But guys, and there will be many more viruses to come in the future. Probably more severe than the COVID-19. Am I right? I'm sure we all know that. So the best way to protect ourselves is not the mask, it's not the lockdown. The best way to protect ourselves is what? Raise your immune system. Would you agree with me? Raise your immune system. So how do you enhance your immune system? One of the best ways is strengthen all your cells, isn't it? So how do you strengthen all your cells? Well, you unblock all the blockages, right? And then you will know when you're getting better. your energy level is a burst of energy, right? And if you're a diabetic, you find that the sugar level has kind of like, everything you will know. When you healthy, you're getting better, you know. Okay, so this is the wonderful part about using this amazing device, small as it may, but it really works. And it is a medical device. Okay, so moving on. So I hope this doesn't frighten you. These are actual, I've seen a lot on Facebook and TikTok, but I think they are not real. So I actually searched and I think these are the real photos. Okay, and it does look scary, doesn't it? Okay, now this company is from Taiwan, and we are privileged in the Philippines because everyone had the opportunity to meet up with Mr. Terry Chiang, the owner on the left-hand side, and also his son, Johnson. Okay, they came to Manila because this company, InnoHealth from Taiwan, since 1990, they commissioned this top 15 hospital in Taiwan called Chuchi Hospital in Hualien. Hualien is a hospital that relies on charity, okay? And they have 60 over hospitals in the world. Can you imagine? All on charity. And last week, I actually attended this hospital. They have a branch in the Philippines, which I didn't know of. And they do everything for free, right? Even cataract. You know how costly cataract operations are, right? So they have this eye hospital in Santa Mesa in Manila, and they do everything for free. And the hospital looks great. It's pretty new. It's pretty amazing. So coming back to why Mr. Terry Chiang came to Manila, because he commissioned the Chuchi Hospital to do 3 clinical trials. Okay, with what? With this. 3 clinical trials with the eye dog. And what are they? The first one is on the immune system. The second one is on the growth hormone, IGF-1. The third one is on the anti-aging or anti-aging, depending on American or British English. All right. And they are going to publish the results before end of the year, but they already know the results. It's just beyond their expectation. So they really are convinced, right, that this device is truly, truly amazing. And that's why they Mr. Terry Chiang to come to Manila. In their medical mission in Manila, they use this to diagnose people. And the accuracy was simply mind-boggling. Even the Taiwanese ambassador, right, to the Philippines and his wife came to the hospital to be diagnosed. And everyone was just baffled with the accuracy of the diagnosis, okay, by this wonderful small little medical device. All right. So that's why when he came, of course, I put a lot of 100 people to meet up with him, and we had a seminar. All right, I'll show you later on. I'll show you later on a little bit about that seminar. Let me just carry on and mute it. Okay, so moving on. Um, I've never seen a company or a device with so many registrations. It's just impressive, right? So in Taiwan, medical device certification, and in China, because this is acupuncture, so it's also registered there as a medical device. Guys, before I go on, I mean, when you have like any kind of electronic device that is used for health, that's just a gadget. That's just an electronic device. But when you have an electronic device that is registered as a medical device, it's a whole different class. Because to be registered as a medical device, you need human clinical trial. And you need hospital and doctors to endorse these clinical trials. Are you with me? So when you want to compare, or probably what's being sold in Alibaba, right? You can get cheaper version of whatever, right? But at your own risk, right? Would you want to risk your life with something cheaper? Or would you want to use something which is proven and registered as a medical device? Okay, so there you go. Moving on. So this is China. And this is the one. The US FDA. Guys, I posed the question when he visited Manila in front of hundreds of people. And his answer was simply, he had to do it. He had to do it. Okay? Because when he came up with this device, he found it so difficult to make people believe in. And he knows the hardest to register as a medical device is the United States FDA. So he went ahead and it took him more than 6 years to finally get it registered, and it costed him almost 2 million US dollars. When I asked him that question, he was looking at his son. And you can go watch the YouTube, all right? Part 1, part 2, part 3. And he was looking at his son. He said, it's cheaper to raise his son than to apply for the US FDA. It's just amazing, this guy. You know, he persevered, he went through it, and he got it all done, all right? And it's a blessing for all of us. So that was already done. And once you get the US FDA, as the saying goes, the rest is just easy. So he got Korea, Japan, medical device, and even the ISO 13485. This is, ISO has different categories, but ISO 13485 is a category for medical devices, is to show the safetiness of the device, okay? Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Russia, Australia, Germany. Even WHO knows about it, okay? So in terms of testimonies, we have a lot, but I'm not going to bore you with it. I'm just going to simply maybe put a link, all right? Put a link in the chat. You can copy and play it at your own time so that we don't waste time here, because it's a lot here. So I'm just going to copy paste in the chat. All right, guys. So this is the link tree, and just to show you, all right, just to show you how it looks like. So this is the link tree, right? You just play it, and there, part 1, part 2, part 3. I mean, this is where during the entire seminar you can go watch, and then you can see all the testimonies. See, Aculife iDoc testimonies, right? From bipolar to, wow, so many. Even, yeah, you can see there's a lot there. So it's worth watching. Every one of these videos are pretty short. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes kind of thing. Very short, okay? And it's not boring because you have different people telling you their own situation. All right, guys? So this amazing thing, since few months ago, started in the Philippines and is different countries in the world. And yeah. So yes. Okay. Just quickly. Okay. This is an amazing one. I mean, this is a uterine cancer gone after 5 months. She was supposed to go for chemotherapy, decided to try this. And thank God for it, because in 5 months, when she went back to check, it just disappeared, you know. Diabetic type 2. Yeah. And this lady is from Davao. She had a heart attack. My goodness. She had a heart attack, tried to call her sisters. Nobody picked up the phone. And she called the person who introduced her, and that person said, you have the device. Why don't you use it? Use it on your ears, right? So she put it on 2 sessions, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and everything disappeared. Guys, simply amazing, all right? A lot of testimonies, and that's why the whole community is getting very excited about this. So yeah, I'm all over in the Philippines, many of these seminars. And now I just want to spend another 10 minutes to talk about another medical device. So we have 2, okay? This other medical device is called the D178. It comes in a box like this. And once you set it up, it is like this. Two people can use it at the same time. Now, going backwards, we have to have our exclusion clause. Again, people who use pacemakers or electronic heart-lung devices, people with foreign metal objects, people with malignant tumors, because it's not registered as a cancer-curing device. You cannot do that, really. Not fully recovered from surgery, pregnant women, children under 3 years old. So this is how it looks like. You know, incidentally, I'm not insinuating anything, but I just want to highlight this. You know, the Brazilian plane that came down recently, right? Have you all heard of it? Do you all watch TikTok, YouTube short, whatever, right? This Brazilian plane, I think 70 plus passengers died. Okay. I think out of that, there's like 6 of them are cancer doctors. Yeah. So is it a coincidence? I don't know. Some say, you know, yeah, they found something. So anything to do with the big C, right? If you speak against it, your life is in danger. So maybe my life is okay. I'm 60 years old. I've had a good life. The rest of my life, I just want to talk about it, all right? As cautious as I can be. Okay, so that you guys are aware and you guys can go heal yourself. So yeah, I call this is a DIY, do it yourself healing, all right? You become the doctor using this device. So DIY. Now, moving on. So you set it up, and today we did that. I had a seminar this afternoon, and yeah, we had a lot of attendees, and they tested it out, and you don't feel anything. You don't feel the heat. You don't feel anything at all. So what does this D178 device do? What it does is that it will put electricity into your body, ISO13485. So it's safe. It's been there for 10 years in Taiwan, registered with the Taiwan FDA. Thousands and thousands of patients, even in hospitals in Taiwan. Okay. And not even a single case of complaint. So it's pretty good. Now, what we know is how you have cancer is because your blood pH starts to drop to become acidic blood pH. So when you have acidic blood pH, the level of absorption of oxygen in your blood diminishes, all right? If you have a normal blood pH, which is supposed to be 7.35 to 7.45, the level of oxygen in your blood is higher. So it's talking about oxygen, isn't it, right? And, I have this pull out this study, okay? Let me just this guy here. Dr. Otto Heinrich Warburg. He won the Nobel Prize in 1931, long time ago. And look at the highlight. Cancerous tissues are acidic, whereas healthy tissues are alkaline. And then moving 2 paragraphs down, all normal cells have an absolute requirement for oxygen, but cancer cells can live without oxygen, a rule without exception. And look at this. Deprive a cell 35% of its oxygen for 48 hours and it may become cancerous. Wow. Powerful statement from 1931. Nobel Prize winner. Won the Nobel Prize because of these research findings. Guys, they don't want you to know. Okay? But the way to heal cancer, to get rid of cancer, is to give oxygen. Because look, I didn't say this. What did he say? Deprive a cell 35% of its oxygen for 48 hours and it may become cancerous. Wow. Deprive a cell and it will become cancerous from oxygen. So you want to get rid of the cancer cells, what do? Give it back the oxygen, right? but it's your blood. So what do? The right pH to your blood, isn't it, right? So you balance your blood pH. You know, guys, when you want to submit a medical device, this is not just like any factory producing electronic devices. Guys, this is submitting to the Taiwan FDA. Even the brochure has to be submitted for their approval. Are you with me? Okay. So in that brochure, it says specifically that it will balance your blood pH. And what is a balanced blood pH, by the way? 7.35 to 7.45. When you have 7.35 to 7.45, you will have more oxygen in your blood. Guess what happens to the cancer cells? You know the answer. Okay. The science behind it, pretty strong. It's been there for 10 years. It has the Taiwan FDA, but it wasn't registered as a cancer curing device because you cannot do that. Okay. You cannot do that. Now, by the way, do you all know what is the success rate of chemotherapy? Very low, isn't it? Very low. Now, I'm going to play this for you because when you step on the machine, you don't feel the heat, you don't feel anything. In fact, you don't even know if the machine is turned on. So how do you know? I did a simple experiment because negative ion goes through your body. So your body is negatively charged. The tissue paper is positively charged, and you put your hand, it will stand up. Okay. So let's enjoy this moment. Short video. Hi. Enjoying, huh?
I'm enjoying the machine.
Yeah.
Take this opportunity.
Do you feel anything at all?
No.
Totally nothing, huh?
Yeah, no.
But look at the, wow, standing, yeah? See? Oh, amazing. Tissue standing.
That's a positive.
See? Negative and positive. Okay. Now, you don't feel any heat at all. On your feet, do you feel any heat?
No heat.
No heat, nothing, huh? How about you, Kai?
No more.
No more, nothing.
Just sitting in the chair,
Yeah.
nothing happened.
So if I didn't give you this tissue paper, then you will think that this machine is not switched on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing technology?
Very amazing.
Very
Yeah.
amazing. Nothing.
So there you go, guys. So it is what it is. I'm just narrating to you, telling you, persuading you, convincing you, showing all the facts and figures and everything. And this device was also imported into Malaysia by a Muslim doctor. And she's good, all right? But unfortunately, she's no longer with us. She's old. And during the time that she had it in Malaysia, she actually documented a lot of it, and also she got it out in the certain articles and newspapers and stuff like that, and I'll just share with you. And within our group, you can download everything. And Kai, you had so this by the way, these are pictures of Taiwan wellness centers. Okay, there's a lot more than 100 wellness centers in Taiwan, so it's very popular in Taiwan. And this is in Malaysia. Okay, for beauty, tired, breast cancer gone, my cancer is almost cured, blah, 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 right? The big C, okay? I mean, guys, it's not easy to talk about the big C, but I guess, yeah, she did what she had to do, and she wanted to do it, and she can't be bothered. Yeah, she's able to do that. But if it is a Chinese doctor or an Indian doctor, would have been a different story. But she's a Malay Muslim doctor, so she got away with it. Okay, and it's documented. So we thank her for doing that. And yeah, today I was playing golf with a good friend of mine, and his dad is 85 years old, and there's a tumor in his kidney. Okay, and he decided any operation or anything or biopsy, because some people still believe that tumor is there to contain the cancer, all right? And you start doing the biopsy, you're actually letting it out. Okay, so he decided not to, the siblings. And I say, hey, bro, I have this wonderful thing that can help. And he's like, okay, so tomorrow I'm going to bring it there for him to try. Guys, I'm really happy. I'm really happy that I can help, you know. And a lot of people who have cancer, unfortunately, one of them was my own dad. In 2009, my dad had stomach cancer. And the oncologist, the doctor told me, you got to spend time with him because he doesn't have much time left. And was doing a lot of blood transfusion. He was losing a lot of blood. Yeah, within I lost my dad. How I wish I had this machine, you know. Anyway, it is what it is, guys. So now I've spoken my piece. I've told you what we have. So if you know of people in that situation, there is another option. There is another. Chemotherapy is not the only option, or radiotherapy. Now there is another option. Okay. And the science behind it is pretty strong. The testimonies are pretty amazing. So yeah, go try it. Okay. And it's not just for the big C, it's for, you know, serious diseases, and you want something like shockingly fast. Well, the D178 is the one. Okay. It's not cheap, but then again, what is expensive? The hospital bed. The hospital bed is the most expensive. Am I right? And it's waiting for us. The hospital bed is the most expensive. Okay. So all the two devices, it comes with a 2-year warranty, and we're good because Taiwanese, you know, technology, Taiwan technology is good. Okay. Say what you like. Taiwan technology is good. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you so much for listening to me. And I hope I have touch your heart and your mind for you to open up and explore further. Okay. But those of you who are privileged enough to know someone near to you who can maybe give you a demo, please go and get a demo done, and you will be amazed with the device. Okay. So thank you, and question time.